Fishing trips anywhere, anytime. FishingBooker.com.
Hey guys, this is Melissa Bachman. Are you ready to stop spooking deer before it's even time to hunt them? Then you need the new Flex S Dark cellular trail camera from SpyPoint. With a no-glow flash option, long-lasting solar power, and a ton of settings that can be changed anytime through the SpyPoint app, there are no more excuses for letting your deer get wise before the season even starts. So check it out for yourself and see why the SpyPoint Flex S Dark is the unstoppable and undetectable scouting tool you need for your next hunt.
At Midway USA, we put customers first. The Nitro Express shipping system is icing on the cake. It was a big investment of time and money to take super fast, low-cost shipping to a whole new level. The Nitro Express helps ensure same-day shipping and low shipping costs. We hope you enjoy the Nitro Express. We built it just for you. For just about everything for the outdoors, go to MidwayUSA.com.
I'm Larry Potterfield with Midway USA. Thanks for your business.
Welcome to DSC's Campfires with Larry Weissoon, a unique blend of hunting, fishing, wildlife conservation, and the outdoor lifestyle. DSC's Campfires is brought to you by DSC, Conservation, Education, and Advocacy. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Taurus, award-winning revolvers and pistols. Stealth Vision, high-tech, precision-driven equipment for today's modern hunter. Mossberg, American-built, American-strong. Vineyard Max, deer attractants created for the aroma of success, game feeders, and other hunting products. Red 55 Winery, signature wines from Emmy Award-winning country artist Miranda Lambert, owned by Rick and Beverly Lambert. And the Choctaw Hunting Lodge, home of some of the finest hunting in North America. Now, here's Larry.
There's an old song that kind of starts with summertime and the living is easy. Certainly it is, but it's also a busy time. I'm recording this essentially right before I am walking out the door to go to the 40th anniversary of the Texas Wildlife Association. Spoke to you a little bit about it last week, but headed that way, and hopefully we'll get to see a lot of you folks there. And again, want to remind you that if you can't be there, there's some unbelievable auction items to be had at our grand auction, which supports everything that TWA does, that are available if you can't be there on onlinehuntingauctions.com. Just scroll down the page once you get there and go to Texas Wildlife Association. You'll be able to see the auction items that are available both, I think, Friday and Saturday night. Saturday is our grand auction. Friday night's going to be some really great deals there as well, too. Some great hunts, and there's some silent auction items there as well, too. And to learn more about it, you can go to www.texas-wildlife.org. And again, hope to see you there. But, we talked about this last week a little bit, but I really want to tell you about the upcoming DSC Summer Expo, and that's going to be held July the 17th through the 19th. Now, this is a chance for us to come back to the Dallas area with the show. We're going to be at the Gaylord Texan there in Grapevine, Texas. Unbelievable facility. Going to have a whole lot of booths there. I can't remember. I think there was something like 400 booths there, and got people really from all over the world, all kinds of hunts, all kinds of hunting equipment. Just looking through the list, I know that Stealth Vision is going to be there, and several of the other companies as well too, who produce some of the finest outdoor products that are to be found anywhere in the world. And of course, the thing about it is all the people that are there in terms of vendors at our expo, they've been vetted by DSC and our DSC members. So any hunt or fishing trip or item that you buy, you can be assured that they're a quality item and they're a quality hunt or quality adventure because of that fact. Going to open up Thursday evening, and I think there's something called, Smoke and Spurs or something like that. The afternoon and late afternoon of July the 17th, going to be all kinds of things going on there at that evening. Just an opportunity to get together. We'll have some entertainment there, some live entertainment as well. And then I think same thing, the show really opens that afternoon, but also be available all day Friday. Got the Life Members Breakfast going on that weekend as well too, and there's a ladies auction as well too. And again, with, as I mentioned earlier, with the Texas Wildlife Association, you can go to DSC Summer Expo, and there on the site of onlinehuntingauctions.com, the silent auctions are available there. The live auctions are available there for the Thursday and Friday thing going on. And, you don't need to be present, although we would love to see you there. It's going to be an absolutely great time, kind of a mini, if you will, convention of what DSC had there at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Center in the past in January, and eventually we'll be back there as well too once they start, and actually once they finish that facility to where we can get back in and have the type of show that DSC likes to have. In the meantime, we're going to be in Atlanta for one more year, I think, and after that, I understand maybe 1 year after that or so, we'll be going to Houston, Texas. So looking down into the future, or looking up into the future, and that's where it's going to be. But this one is really going to be a lot of fun. This one, again, being the Summer Expo, DSC Summer Expo. As I mentioned, a lot of people there, all kinds of things going on for all members of the family. And one of the good things about anything having to do with DSC, you don't have to be a member to attend. I know some of the other conservation organizations, you have to be a member to be there. And but this instance, all you got to do is just show up. There are day passes available at the door. You can go online to our website, www.biggame.org, and get your day passes there too. And I think there's a schedule of events of all the things that are happening starting Thursday, Friday, and of course Saturday as well too. But one of the things that I've been very much involved with, of course, with DSC for a very, very long time, and to me it's the world's finest and best conservation organization there is to be had anywhere in the world or in the universe, in my opinion. And that's based on dealing with a lot of the other organizations over the years as well, too. Some really good organizations out there, but when you look at it from an international perspective, and somebody who really cares about North America as well, too, you don't find a better organization than the DSC, the Dallas Safari Club. And don't let that term safari scare you. Safari is just a term, it's a Swahili term that means something like the Australians would call a walkabout or an adventure or something like that. It doesn't have anything to do with going to Africa. And even though we'll have a bunch of African exhibitors there, and we'll have some great auction items for being able to hunt Africa on the auctions, most of our members, when you get right down to it, there's a lot of us that have been to Africa, but there's a whole lot more members who have not been, who maybe hope to go someday, or maybe they're simply just squirrel hunters. I've got some friends coming in from the northeastern part of the state of Texas to that event, and their game is hunting squirrels. That's what they do. They occasionally will hunt a deer, but occasionally shoot a duck, and occasionally maybe shoot a rabbit in front of a set of beagles or a brace of beagles. But for the most part, they have no desire to go to Africa, yet they want to support conservation, and they do so by being members of DSC. But again, you don't have to be a member of DSC to be there, but I understand there's some special premiums that are going to be available if you sign up to become a member there at DSC at the Summer Expo. I'm not going to tell you about those. You'll have to get there and find out for yourself. But in visiting with Mr. Rob McCanna, who is the executive director of both the DSC and DSC Foundation, all he would tell me, he said, there's going to be some really sharp thing, or a very sharp thing there that will be part of a premium of becoming a member there at the expo. So not quite sure what that means, but I kind of got an idea, and maybe if I suspect maybe the sharp is the key word here for that premium, if you will, becoming a member of DSC there at the expo. So many things that DSC does, and gosh almighty, both here in North America and for years, I've served as an ambassador for DSC and been involved in so many different programs that DSC has and sponsors and is involved in various facets and ways. I've also been a member of the DSC Foundation Board of Directors. Spent some years there as a director, and absolutely one of the best things there is in the world when you get right down to it. The DSC Foundation is the granting arm, if you will, of DSC. A few years ago, we started doing the gala, which will culminate the expo on the night of the 19th. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but trying to raise our own amount of money rather than asking for money from DSC that was raised. But the DSC Foundation is a granting arm, and we have granted something I can't remember. It is way, way, way over $1 million. Seemed like it was $1 million last year to very highly vetted conservation efforts. Now, that can mean an organization, it can mean an individual, it can mean the different things that are going on in the world that need the support, but these are extremely well vetted. They have to report, they have to do a lot of things if they ever hope to get money again, and the board is the one who decides to where that money goes based upon grant applications that come in from all over the world, but we do a lot of things here in North America now. I want to mention, too, our chapters at this point because DSC has been adding chapters like you can't believe. Proud to say that one of the most recent one is the Texas Gulf Coast chapter that I'm going to be involved in. Trez Masser is the president and really did an absolutely fantastic job of putting this together. And that chapter was recently approved by the DSC board. But I mentioned the chapters because they're fundraisers. We've talked about this in the past. 20% of the profits of their top fundraiser go to the DSC Foundation to be granted to conservation efforts. Let's just put it like that because it covers a tremendous amount. But that board, that local board of that local chapter and their members essentially determine where those dollars go. So, of course, they get to keep 75% of all their profits on their top fundraiser. And if they have a second one, it doesn't quite make as much money as that top one, they get to keep all of it. So there's not another organization out there in the world that does that kind of thing, particularly when it has anything to do with conservation. Normally, you got to send all your money in, and then they'll say, okay, we'll give you this little bit back that you can do something with locally or determine where you want to. So looking forward to that said, to seeing so many of our chapters there as well, too. We've got some of the finest chapters in the world. Like I said, that number is growing every day. Bruce Borowski and Mike Huffstadter, who are in charge of putting together and maintaining those chapters, do an absolutely fabulous job. And like so many other things having to do with DSC, including the chapters and where they are and how you can become involved, you can go to the website, DSC website, which is I've gotten ahead of myself there, www.biggame.org. Now, those chapters have been going on, and I've had the opportunity to speak to a lot of them and looking forward to speak to a lot more in the future. But we'll have a lot of our chapters there as well, too. And if while you're there, you might stop by I'm sure there'll be a booth that says chapters, and you can learn even more while you're there at the Summer Expo. But you can also, like I said, learn more by going to the primary DSC website and finding out where those are and all those kind of good things. Got a lot of things going on at that expo. There are things going to be there for any age member of your family or your guests. We have a lot of people that come out, particularly on in the past, on Saturday And this year, with it being during the summertime, parents, you can bring those kids in, and they will have an absolute blast at this event. Just, if nothing else, just looking at all the fantastic mounts and visiting with the people and seeing things that they probably wouldn't be able to see anywhere else in this world. So, make sure you bring your kids out. Make sure you bring out your parents and your grandparents and great-grandparents as well, too, and aunts and uncles and all those kind of good things. Got some great auction items, as I mentioned, going up at the Life Member, the ladies auction, ladies luncheon, if you will, the some of the early Friday and Saturday, Thursday and Friday nights, and then silent auction items are really great as well too. And I know there's some raffle items coming up at the DSC Foundation Gala as well too. That's that Saturday night, the 19th. They're at the Gaylord Texan Resort. They're in their facility. Some of these that I've been involved with in the past, I think there's maybe a fishing trip or two that's coming up that I think would be an absolutely fantastic place to go, because I know because I fish with these people quite regularly and really appreciate those folks becoming or donating their fishing trip. But we've got so many other great items that are coming up there. I'm involved with several of them for the Saturday night live auction, and includes some of those include what we call the McNab, the Oklahoma McNab. Now, many years ago in Scotland, there still today, there's the Scotland McNab, which meant that you went out and you shot a brace of grouse, caught a salmon, and shot a stag. Now, with the Choctaw, we're going to do things a little bit differently than that because, we don't have grouse. So with the Choctaw McNab it's going to be held during the spring season of wild turkey season, if you will, which is, this will take place in 2026. The efforts will be to try to take a eastern turkey gobbler, catch a fish out of the many lakes that they have there and the ponds, and then also to take an animal of your choice. Now, that animal of choice can be anything from an oryx to a American bison, simply because those are the things that have horns during that time as opposed to antlers. Now, if there's some antlered animals there during that time, you're welcome to try one of those as well too. But we're going to give you 3 days to accomplish this, but the goal actually is to try to accomplish it all in the same day. Now, the Choctaw Hunting Lodge is absolutely fabulous. Dusty and Nicole Vickery that run that operation for the Choctaw Nation, dear friends, but I'll tell you what, there's a unbelievable amount of work that they put in to make your hunt or your stay there just fabulous. Food is out of this world good. Facilities out of the world good. The hunting, second to none when you get right down to it. And I feel very, very honestly honored, I should say, I guess, that there is, even within their very beautiful lodge, a room that says, "That's Mr. Whitetail to you." Now, in that room, I've got a mount or two of some whitetail deer, and Nicole, a few years ago, Miss Nicole, about 2 years ago, I guess, designated that room as kind of the Larry Weissoon room. So if you're there, I invite you to stay in my room for that particular McNab, but there's some other fabulous rooms there as well, too. That's one of the items that's on the list. I think that's going to be like item number 16 under the auction for the DSC Foundation Gala, and you can go to onlinehuntingauctions.com and if you can't be there, to click on that one. Now, the one right before that hunt is item 15, and that is a hunt for black bear up on the. Let's go back a little bit, because as I recall, on the Choctaw hunt, I donated a turkey shotgun as well from Mossberg. So that's part of the deal too. And I mention that because I talked about the black bear hunt just coming up here, and that is with Randy Flannery and his Escape Wilderness Lodge up in close to Danford, Maine. I've hunted that area for black bear in the past, and this is a fall hunt. Now, these are specific dates in September, so it's coming up pretty quickly, but the specific dates are because of the fact that Randy stays booked up years in advance. They take some unbelievable black bear. The facilities are out of this world. The lakes up there are some of the finest smallmouth fishing for smallmouth bass that can ever be had anywhere. And so basically you hunt in the afternoon. It'd be a baited hunt. You fish in the morning if you like to, or just kind of kick back. And there's an amenity there's a couple of amenities that go along with this particular one as well too, and that being is I've donated a Rossi R95 4570 lever action rifle for this hunt. That'll be part of that hunt, and I think it's like this number item 15 on the Saturday night auction. But also I visited with Double Nickel Taxidermy over at New Braunfels, who does an absolutely fabulous job. We've dealt with these guys for a long time, and John Wilson, who owns that, is a past president of the DSC South Texas chapter as well too. So John and his crew do an unbelievable job. Just beautiful rug mount. That's part of that as well too. So great time. You can look up those specific dates. It's kind of in the early part of September. Those are the dates chosen because that's when we could get into anytime in the next few years into that hunt. But I'll be up there at the same time, and kind of like with the Choctaw hunt, we'll be around and possibly have a cameraman there as well too, and to film your presence in that camp. I'm going to be hunting as well too. Probably be hunting with a Rossi R95 4570 as well too, of course loaded with Hornady ammo, and I'll try to see about getting some Hornady ammo for the auction buyer as well. But can't ever tell. I may be shooting a Taurus Raging Hunter and a 454 Kasuga with Hornady ammo. That can be done in Maine with a handgun hunting, so I may kind of drift over that way, but that's going to be an absolutely fabulous hunt for a black bear. Randy's taken bear up there that weighed during the fall in excess of 600 pounds. The biggest black bear I've ever seen in my life. I saw just off the edge of country that at the time Randy didn't have. I used to, years ago when I was doing stuff with Thompson Center, we used to hunt black bear up there. This bear, in my estimation, weighed well over 600 pounds. A whole lot bigger than the 563-pound bear that I shot on the White Mountain Apache several years ago that we actually weighed. So I know what a big bear looks like, and this bear was absolutely huge. So, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Randy told me the other day when he and I were visiting that he may have just gotten that property as well where those big bear came from, or where I saw that big bear, and it has not been hunted in several years. So, there's some unbelievable black bear there. We'll be doing some fishing as well during the morning times, and it's going to be an absolutely great amount of fun. Loving it, can't wait, kind of wishing my life away, and looking forward to that one. There's a third hunt that I'm involved in, and that one is for the Coos whitetail deer down in Durango, Mexico, with El Durangueno Ranch. Hunted there last year. Could not believe the number of Coos deer that we saw every day, including some absolute monsters. Now, not monster Coos deer is anything that scores over 100. I held out and looking for a really big deer, and finally shot one that if he had both antlers, he had broken off most of his beam and antlers on his right side, just above where the first point came off. So, but had he had that full complement of antlers, he'd have scored in the 120s, and that's a huge Coos deer. That is an easy into and out of. There's some amenities that go along with that hunt as well too. Part of the amenities beyond the hunt itself, fully guided, meals, lodging. Lodging is there in a gorgeous home. Food is second to none. The guides understand English. They may not speak very much of it, but they understand it, and they know they're people who live on that ranch and know the deer, know where the deer are. Now, this ranch is a little bit over 50,000 acres. It belongs to Alonso Ayala and his family, and it's in the mountains. It looks a whole lot like some of the foothills and the mountains of New Mexico and Colorado, including some of the big pines, and absolutely gorgeous in so many different ways. A lot of elk there as well, lots of them. Those, I think, are ghouls, wild turkeys, all kinds of other things. There's a few jaguar that roam through that area. Mountain lion occasionally show up there as well, too. So coyotes, javelina, what a place if you're interested to, while you're there, to take a javelina, particularly since the javelina has now been put on the Boone and Crockett record book. I saw some javelina there last year that I want to go back and hunt this year when I'm there. And those dates are going to be like I can't remember, seemed like January 16th through 21st, somewhere along and through there of 2026. And again, these are specific dates that we have to hunt simply because of the fact that the El Durangueno only takes a very limited number of hunters, and on that 55,000 acres or whatever it is, we drove into some areas last year just to kind of sit and glass from a great distance. There hadn't been any hunter in those areas, at least not with a modern rifle that anybody knows of. So there's some huge coos deer there that have probably never even seen a human if you get right down to it. But part of the amenities of that is I'm donating the 6.5 PRC rifle, the Mossberg rifle that I used last year down while I was hunting there. And I've also gotten Hornady to donate 120 rounds of PRC, 6.5 PRC, a precision hunter. So lots of ammo to play with to start with. I put a scope on there. It's a Trigicon scope, and that I've had that I had here in my business that had not been used. And so it's a brand new scope on there as well. I will tell you, you're going to have to sight the rifle in if you buy the hunt. But it is extremely accurate and out to substantial ranges of 600 yards and beyond. But shots generally on these coos deer are going to be like, I guess you could take one that long if you wanted to. But most part, the shots are going to be 200 yards or less. Great opportunity to take a potential Boone and Crockett coos deer and to have just an unbelievable adventure and time. It's an easy place to get into, easy place to get out of. We'll get all the paperwork done, started as soon as the auction is over with for the rifle and for your hunting license and everything else involved. There's a direct flight out of DFW, they're in Dallas-Fort Worth, to Durango, Mexico. There's somebody there waiting to help you with all the paperwork, and the paperwork will be all taken care of long before you get there. So you can take that particular rifle that's part of the auction item, take your one that you have, or if you need to, if you really don't want to take a rifle, I think you can probably even rent a rifle down there as well too. So, but a great opportunity, and again, that's going to come with a rifle. And then two, knowing that you're going to take a really outstanding coos deer, we've already talked to the folks over at Conroe Taxidermy, dear friends for many years, both DSC and personal friends, and they're going to do they're donating a coos deer shoulder mount. So, oh my gracious, that is going to be an absolutely fantastic hunt. I love coos deer hunting probably as much as I do any kind of hunting. It's lots like hunting desert bighorn sheep. You spend a lot of time glassing. We'll cover lots of country. There are a few places there where they've got platforms set up where you can see great distances and spot and hopefully then find the one that you're looking for that way. And we'll head out, or you'll head out with your guide on a stalk to get you within close. You'll do a little bit of walking. There's some driving involved just because, remember, as I said, this ranch is, I want to say it's over 50,000. I know it's over 50,000. I can't remember the exact acreage, but again, there's some areas there that really don't have real good roads into them, if any, and it might be an opportunity to kind of walk out to a point and sit there for a while and glass, and gosh, there's no telling what you'll see and no telling what kind of coos deer you might be able to drag out there. I saw some at a distance last time when I was there in January that were easily in the 120s. There was one, I think he might have even been bigger than that. just got a glimpse of him. And I mean, if this deer, and I mean by this, I mean exactly, this was a big deer, a big coos deer. He was really wide, had long tines. I'm not so sure this deer wasn't 20 inches wide or wider, and his tines were like 7, 8 inches long or longer, and had long brows, and typical of some of the coos deer, just very, very massive. So, those are just 3 of the hunts that are going to be available on that our gala auction, live auction. And again, much as we'd love for you to be present, I know you're going to have a great time there at the Summer Expo, and then Saturday night as well too, and all the other auctions and all the other things that we've got going on. There's all kinds of things happening. You just got to be there to see what it's all going to be about, but it will be the event of the year in Texas as far as conservation and wildlife is concerned on an international scale. On the other side of that, the Texas Wildlife Association will have been the week before the 10th through the 12th, and that's also an absolutely great time. And I'm being the primary founder of Texas Wildlife Association, which we started back in 1985 with Gary Mason, Murphy Ray, and I, and then being involved directly with DSC since 1987. Actually, in 2024, I celebrated 25 years as being a field editor of their absolutely fantastic magazine as well, too. But these two are absolutely the finest organizations in conservation when it comes down to it, no matter where they are. Of course, Texas Wildlife Association is strictly Texas, but DSC and the DSC Foundation are worldwide. And they're just none finer. They do so many things, and unfortunately don't get the credit for it. Sometimes other organizations jump on board and say, look what we did. And when you get right down to it, hey, it was the Dallas Safari Club that got things done. A lot of it behind the closed doors, and so much of that organization is based on volunteerism. There is a very small staff there at the primary office in Dallas, but an unbelievable number of volunteers. All of our board of directors, our advisors. We have a couple advisors. Erica Gonzalez from San Antonio also serves as a board of director. As a advisor to the DSC Foundation board. Nobody draws a salary. Everybody does that. We don't even get expenses paid for the travels that we do and the many things we do. We do it because we love it and because we believe so very strongly in what DSC represents, and gets done. So, remind you again, DSC Foundation Gala, the night of July the 19th, the DSC Summer Expo starting on the 17th. All these are going to be at the Gaylord Texan Resort there in Grapevine, Texas. To learn more about them before this thing gets started, you can go to 2 different places, actually. One being, as I've mentioned earlier, the DSC website, which is www.biggame.org. And also, you can go to the DSC Foundation website, which is www.dscf.org. And if you're on Facebook or Instagram, I know that you've seen the many ads that we've had out, the many opportunities as well, too. So, again, please consider this a personal invitation from me, from Larry Weissoon, and to be at the DSC Summer Expo. And then please, if you can't attend, go to onlinehuntingauctions.com, look up DSC Summer Expo and DSC Foundation Gala, and you can bid there, and you can be assured that your money is going to go to conservation. It's not going to go into somebody's pocket. It's going to go to doing things that need to be done both here in North America and abroad as well, too. So look forward to seeing as many of you as earthly possible there, and we'll try to pick up a whole bunch of different interviews with old friends, both at the Texas Wildlife Association convention there July 10th through the 12th, and then again the DSC Summer Expo and DSC Foundation Gala July 17th through the 19th. Look forward to seeing you there. If not, Bid online, as I mentioned, and then we'll be right back here next week with another, well, we'll see where we're going to go. I've got a couple of guests planned and got a couple of things I'd really want to visit with you in the future. So we'll see you right back here around the campfire next week. Thank you for joining us.
DSC's Campfires with Larry Weissoon has also been brought to you by The Crown Bar in LaGrange, Texas, the Texas Wildlife Association, Double Nickel Taxidermy, and Burnham Brothers Game Calls.
This episode is brought to you by Boat Trader, America's largest boating marketplace. Whether you're buying, selling, or upgrading, the Boat Trader app makes it easy. With the biggest selection of new and used boats from dealers and private sellers. Browse, compare, and even apply for financing. All in one place. Download the Boat Trader app and start your search today.
Want to plan your next fishing trip without the hassle? FishingBooker.com is the best way to find and book a fishing charter anywhere in the world. Whether you're chasing trophy fish or just looking for a family day on the water, Fishing Booker makes it simple, fast, and secure. With thousands of experienced guides, verified reviews, and 24/7 customer support, Fishing Booker takes the guesswork out of planning. Visit FishingBooker.com and book your trip today. Fishing Booker. Fishing trips made easy.